So are you a service-based entrepreneur and your business is stuck and everybody is telling you that you need to get online? Or better yet, you've been online for a couple of years now and things are still not moving for you. And if those two are happening, then that probably means that you're getting ready to call it quits. I've been there. I've been there a couple of times actually. But that's happening because you're just confused on what you should actually be doing next. Instead of following proven paths that we all see that work. So in this episode, we are going to go through why the content and path you need to take all comes down to who you're actually inspired by. So let's become undeniable. All right, so when I first started out, I told myself that, hey, I need to be online. I need to be online because that's where everybody was going. That's where everybody was going to. And I wanted to use social media to actually create the brand that's going to actually help me grow my business. But the thing I did not know is, what should I actually be posting? I had no idea. And so the thing that I learned earlier on, and this was 10 years ago, is that there's always going to be somebody who's ahead of you in your industry that is already giving you the blueprint of what you should actually do. So a lot of people hear that and say, hey, I'm going to copy this person word for word. We're seeing it now with AI flyers. Everybody's just copying what everybody else is doing, word for word, bar for bar. But that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. So in this video, I want to help you guys figure out what are the bones that you should actually take from the people that you are inspired by, and how you should actually make it your own so you can actually grow your brand online instead of being stuck in the same place that you've been year after year. So no matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, a real estate agent, a personal trainer, you sell a clothing line, you could do whatever. You could be an influencer. No matter what it is, there's somebody who's actually online right now who has a brand that they're building that you actually are inspired by. Inspired is the key word for this particular video, because you want to find people who fit the energy of what you actually want to create. People that you're actually drawn to. When I first started out, I was inspired by, or very inspired by, Mr. Gary Vee. I would watch his videos every single day. He was doing his daily vlogs and I would watch them every single day. And the early days of my business, you could tell that I was very much inspired by him. Everything that he was doing was something that I kind of admired. It's something that I loved watching, that drew me in. And so it made me want to kind of be just like him. And watching that also gave me the blueprint of how I should actually market the business that I was in, by vlogging, but also giving tips, giving strategies, giving frameworks, kind of similar to what we're doing right now. And so once I realized that, and it was actually starting to work, I started to look at everybody else who was trying to grow a business and they had no idea what they were doing. And even worse, the people that they were inspired by were people who were in their city, but might have been just a couple of steps ahead of them, and not the people who were building ginormous businesses. And so that's where the thought hit me that first, people don't know how to find inspiration. That's first and foremost. But then once you actually find inspiration, you're either finding the wrong inspiration. You're copying somebody word for word. And that's just not what you want to do. So let's talk about finding inspiration. Finding inspiration is super key to this particular framework. It's key because, like I said, no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody ahead of you. Like I said, everybody right now is either has started a podcast or wanted to start a podcast. But if you look at the people who are already successful, there's already bones of how you should actually start yours. if you're starting a podcast, then you are going to need high quality cameras. It can't be bad quality. You need good audio. You need to have topics that resonate online. You need to post regularly. You need to have guests if you want to go that route. You just need to be engaging. That is the foundation, the bones of a good podcast in 2026. But not only is podcast this way, like I said, personal training this way, real estate agents this way, any other business that you could think of is this way, coaches, entrepreneurs. There's definitely a blueprint for each and every industry that's out there. And so first thing when you're actually looking for inspiration, because you need to do that, is you need to find somebody in your space who is very successful. You need to find the person in your space that is growing their business using content. The person that you're just drawn to, because you have to be drawn to somebody so you can try to figure out why are you drawn to this particular person. An example is right now I am drawn to the Instagram page, Sweatpants Millionaire. It's an African guy. I can't really pronounce his name, but the thing that draws me into him is he's putting out content where he's not really creating content. He's really just living his life. He has somebody following him, showing the deals that he's making, showing how he's building his business, showing the people that he's connecting with. And those are the content pieces. And so that is actually something that I always aspire to. Go back to the Daily V, is I really just want to show myself building out a business and then have somebody document that, and then we'll create that in content. So if you look at my Instagram page, a lot of my content is vlog style, where I'm actually showing myself actually doing the work. So that is why it's very important to kind of figure out who you're inspired by. And then once you actually have somebody that you're inspired by, you're drawn to, they have the same energy, the same vibe, they're in your same industry. I said that before, but they have the same energy and vibe of what you are looking for. Here are the couple of things that you should be desperately paying attention to. Quality of content. Since we are in the content game right now, if it's somebody that you are looking to be like, or like I said, just drawn to or inspired by, you need to be able to just check out their quality of content. Is it phone quality? Is it actual camera quality? Is the audio good? Are they being mic'd up in the content? Are they moving around the city? Are they just doing talking heads? You'll find a lot of information, a lot of data just by seeing what their content is. And so once you actually are able to see that, then you can know what you actually need to produce this level of content. Do you need to use your phone? Do you need to get a Osmo? Do you need to actually get a DSLR camera? Do you need a cameraman? Do you need to be mic'd up as far as audio? Do you need to be outside? Do you need to showcase the businesses that you're building? You'll be able to see all of that just by looking at somebody else's that you admire, and you'll be able to see what you actually need to get started. Next thing that you should definitely pay attention to is, what is their content about? Or what problem are they solving? Because there's always a problem that they're solving. When I look at, let's say, Sweatpants Millionaire posts, the things that I'm paying attention to is, what is their content about? Like I said before, his content is about him actually building a business. Of course, there are times when he's actually just sitting down talking, but the content that I love is him actually going into what deals he's actually making. Things I'm drawn to are the people that he's engaging with, the people that don't believe he's the owner of all these businesses, the people that he's actually connecting with, and he's showing how he's doing build outs of his particular salons. Those are the content. That is the content that I'm actually being drawn to. So if you're a personal trainer and you find somebody who you like what they do, you should look at, what problem are they solving? Are they giving tips and tricks? Are they showing what they eat? Are they mic'd up? Are they in the gym all the time? Are they showing lifestyle? By looking at their content, you'll be able to see all of that. But then you'll also just need to pay attention to, what problem is this style of content solving? Is it just lifestyle content, or is showing you how to actually grow your business? Is it showing how you actually get in shape? Is it showing how to actually buy a home? Is it showing how to save money? Is it giving you tips from a law perspective if you're a lawyer? Doing this will actually tell you everything that you need to do as far as what problem that this person is solving, but also what problems that you should be solving in your content. Next thing is, how frequently are they posting? This is very important, because if you're doing this style of content and you're only doing it, let's say once a week, but these people are doing it on a, let's say, 4 times a week basis, then you know that at minimum, if you're trying to get to that level or get above that level, you know where the bar is at. You need to produce either, if they're doing 4 times a week, you probably need to do 4 times a week, or you might want to do 5 times a week. But you know that doing it 1 time a week is not going to get you to where you need to be at. So you just need to understand where you're at, where that person's at as far as their frequency, and how can you actually get to that particular level. So, and then, like I said before, last thing as far as what you should be paying attention to is what actually draws you into their particular content. Is it their style? Is it who they are as a person? Is it the things that they're doing in their content? Is it their messaging? Is it how they speak? I think I said, is it how they dress? You just want to be able to pay attention to, take notes on. This is the thing that I like about this particular video. So this is the thing that I want to make sure that my content also has. And so once you figure that out, and then once you kind of pay attention to the other things that I just mentioned, like I said, quality of content, what is their content about? What problem are they solving? How frequent they post, and what draws you into it? Now you actually have the bones of what your content should be. Like I said, it's probably even better to have, instead of just one person that you're inspired by, have at least 2 to 3 people, so you can actually pick and choose the things that you are actually drawn to. And now you have the bones of what you should actually be doing. And bones are good, but some of y'all want to take the whole person and replicate it and just put your name on it. That's not how you do that. So these are the things that you should actually be doing to make it your own. Once you actually have the bones, how can you get this brand to actually look and feel like you? Because that's what it's all about. We're not creating copies of anybody else. We're actually being our own people. We're actually growing our own brands and not just stealing from somebody else. So to make this your own, there's a couple of simple things that you can do that will actually make it feel like your own. First thing is, know who your audience is. If your audience is Black women, but the person that you're inspired by, their audience is white women, just by that one switch, it's going to give your content and give your brand a completely different feel to it. So you really need to be dialed into who your audience is. The things that you should pay attention to your audience, and I feel like I might have did this on a previous video. If not, then we'll definitely be doing another video just breaking down audience demographics and your ideal client. But you need to know race, age within a 5-year window, 5 to 3 year window. You need to know what they do. You need to know if they are, their relational status. You need to know their parental status. You need to know what activities they have. Once you kind of figure those things out, then it makes it 1,000 times easier to be able to it makes it 1,000 times easier to be able to create content specifically for them, because your audience is going to be much different than everybody else's audience that's around you. Another way to actually make this your own is adding your personality into it. So this is the error. So this is the part where a lot of people mess up at. A lot of people hop online and feel that they have to be professional right now, or clean cut, or they have to be an altered version of themselves for the masses to like them. When in actuality, if you are just yourself, then the right people are going to gravitate towards you. You might not get everybody, but the right people who are meant for you will actually be the ones that actually gravitate towards you. So show your real personality, show your quirks, tell your story, show how people can actually connect with you? What do you like to eat? What's your favorite movie? What's the album that you can listen to forever? What's the things that make you who you are? How were you raised? What are the stories and things from your childhood that stick with you? All of these things are part of your personality, they're part of your story, and then they should also be part of your brand as well. And then lastly is your POV. Like I said, your personality, one of the things that make you who you are, but also your point of view. It also helps to build out and make who you actually are and what your brand should be like. What are the hot takes that everybody else believes that you're completely against? What is your worldview? What are the things in your industry that you always argue with people about? This is your POV. And now you just have to take your POV, take it out of your brain, and implement that into the content that you're building. It's that easy. Find ways this sounds crazy, but find ways to actually argue with people around the things that you actually believe. Your POV should cause people to look at themselves and be like, do I believe this or do I not? It has to make people feel something. So just having a POV that's just like, hey, we should love everybody. Cool. But have a POV that makes people want to take a stance. You're either with this or you're not. Because the people who are going to be the people who ride for you. And the other people are just not going to be people that you would have rocked with no matter what. So have a POV. And so the more that you take the bones of the people that you're inspired by, but include the things that make you unique and the things that make you will now have a brand that will not only feel like you, but will be you. And so, like I said, let's recap this real quick. So you find your inspiration. You find the people that you actually resonate with. You find the people that you connect with. You find the people who are successful in your industry already. And all you had to do was open up your phone, take a couple scrolls on Instagram, and now you found this person, right? But what you do from there is check out the quality of their content so you can see what you actually need to get to be able to produce that level of quality. What is their content about? So you know what your content should actually be about. How frequently are they posting? So you know at the baseline how many videos per week, per month, per year that you should actually be putting out. And then what are the little small caveats or what are the small things that are actually drawing you into this brand? And so once you do that, then you just need to take it and make it yours. And you do that by adding your POV, your personality, and know exactly who your audience is. So doing those things will make you have a brand that actually stands out, make you have a brand that feels like you, and make you create a brand that can actually grow your business and actually bring some more money into your pocket and really help you live the way you want to live and become undeniable. So, that's 22 minutes. So let's get into some rapid fire questions real quick before we wrap this bad boy up. First one is, what's one branding mistake you see almost every business owner make? The one branding mistake most business owners make is when they are actually putting out content, they are trying to sell on each and every video that they put out. I tell a lot of people to give value. But a lot of people take that and like, hey, I need to sell. I need to get some money off of every video that I put out. It doesn't work like that because people are not going online expecting to be sold to. People are not going online and open up Instagram or opening up TikTok and be like, hey, I want to buy something right now. It just doesn't happen that way. So what you should actually be doing is create content where you're giving value, you're helping people solve the problems that they have. So by the time it's actually time for them to actually buy something, or they're in a headspace where they want to buy a home, they want to buy a car, they want to buy some clothes, they want to hire a personal trainer, they want to hire a chef, you've already fixed so many of their problems where you are top of mind that they have to come to you to actually pay for the service that they actually particularly want. So don't sell in the content. First, you're selling the DMs, but create value in your content, and now you are top of mind when it's actually time for them to spend some money. If someone only had 10 minutes a day for content, what should they actually spend it on? If you only have 10 minutes a day, what should you be spending money on as far as content? You should actually be documenting just the things that you do on a day in and day out basis. 10 minutes isn't a lot, but what you can actually do is while you're living your life, just set up a camera, put it off to the side and have it film you actually doing the work. That's what I do each and every day. And it allows me to have so many things that I can create content around. It just documents special moments that I probably wouldn't have got otherwise. And also it allows me to create stories out of the things that just naturally happen in my life. So it makes things a hell of a lot easier. And then last question, what's a piece of content advice that sounds smart, but is actually wrong? A piece of content advice that actually sounds smart is batching content. Batching content is probably not necessarily the worst piece of advice, but people get batching content wrong because if you're just starting out, you need to be able to improve on your content. But if you have content that you've actually booked that you create enough content, let's say you create enough content to last you a month, that means you'll kind of be going off of that same batch for 30 days. Whenever it's time to actually shoot content, you shoot 1 to 2 pieces of content, you put that out and you're like, I could have did this better. I could have tweaked this. And now if you do that, you're getting better on a very consistent basis. But if you only batch content, then you're not getting better often. You're getting better monthly, maybe every other month. And the things that you might have learned in day 2, you're now learning at day 60 and then being able to implement. So I'm wrapping up right now. So if you are looking so the biggest content mistake I always will say is instead of batching your content, do content shoots regularly or produce content regularly. And now you can actually learn from your mistakes on a much quicker pace. That's it. So this was a great episode. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to kind of take a different route. But yeah, wanted to get this video done before I head on a vacation. And so hopefully you got something from it. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of know the path that you should be on and actually building out your brand. So I'm Rashad, I'm 40, and I am here to help you become undeniable. Hey, Zion.